Weekend Trip Part 2. So the next day, we got up and went down to the lake. My grandpa showed us this little area nearby that has like an obstacle course kind of thing. I don't really know how to explain it. It's kind of what I would expect they use to train people in the military. It has balance beams, monkey bars, a tire section you have to hop through, etc. But anyway, he suggested that me, Ryan, and Josh run the course. Me and Josh were down, but Ryan said no because he's done it a million times already. We still tried to get him to do it with us. Josh even asked Ryan if he could walk us through it. It's honestly pretty self-explanatory, but we were just trying to get Ryan to join us, but he insisted on not doing it. Josh and I usually have friendly competitions with everything, so we made a friendly wager to see who could finish the course faster. So during it, we were taunting each other, like when I was ahead of him, I would turn around and give him crap, and then at the top of the climbing wall, he started doing a weird dance. It was hilarious to us. But of course, when we were done, Ryan made a comment asking what the point of doing it was if we weren't going to take it seriously. Josh told him we're not training for the Olympics. We're just having fun. We went down to the lake, which was an incredible sight. The view there is amazing. So we got in to swim, and there's a swing we kept jumping into the water from. It was a blast. Josh and I both tried to get Ryan to join us several times, but he refused when he asked. He refused when my grandpa and dad encouraged him. He just wanted to do his own thing. After a while, my grandma called us back to the house because she made lunch. So we went and ate. Everything was fine at lunch. Afterwards, we're all standing outside on the front porch, and my grandpa started asking about sports, which I only play basketball, but Josh is an all-around athlete, so he and my grandpa started talking about all the sports he plays, and apparently that pissed Ryan off because he made another rude comment asking if athlete was Josh's only personality trait. Josh told him to chill and stop trying to start problems all the time. And then Ryan shouted back asking why Josh kept calling him Grandpa. Again, our grandparents insisted on Josh calling them Grandma and Grandpa as soon as we got there. And then Ryan doubled down by asking why Josh was even there because he's not family, and he asked, "Why don't you go hang out with your own grandpa?" I felt the whole world stop at that moment. Josh's paternal grandfather died last year, and Josh took it very, very hard. He loved his grandpa more than anyone. He was closer to his grandpa than his actual dad. To be fair to Ryan, he did not know. There's no way he could have known, so I know he didn't purposely say it to be cool or hurtful. But in that moment, it didn't matter to Josh. He lunged at him, and I had to hold him back, trying my hardest to get through to him that Ryan doesn't know what he said. I was practically begging him to take a walk with me to the lake, and everyone else was just standing there looking confused and probably a bit scared because Josh looked like he wanted to murder Ryan. Josh is a guy's guy. He's friends with everyone. Not a mean bone in his body. Never starts fights with anyone. But when Ryan said that, I saw a completely different side of him. He was furious. I've seen him mad before, but never like that. I know it hurt me when Ryan said what he said because I cared about Josh's grandpa too, but I can't even imagine what it felt like for Josh. They took Ryan into the house, and I managed to convince Josh to take a walk down to the lake with me. My dad asked what happened, and I told him to just give us a few minutes and to keep Ryan inside. Josh ended up punching a tree on the way to the lake. I want to reiterate that he's not a violent or angry person because I know that sounds bad. Ryan just hit the one nerve that caused him to completely lose his cool. I was actually grateful that he hit a tree instead of Ryan. And I know he only walked away as a favor to me because he was livid. We got to the lake and sat down at a bench, and Josh just broke down. I hated seeing him like that. He's the nicest guy in the world. He doesn't deserve that kind of pain. He said Ryan just runs his mouth and says whatever he wants, and nobody ever does crap about it. I can't exactly blame him. I'm frustrated about the way Ryan acts too. So we decided it was time to go back home. There was no way we were surviving another 24 hours there. My dad and grandpa eventually came up to sit with us, and we explained why Josh got so angry. He apologized to both of them, but thankfully they completely understood. They did try to convince us to stay, but I was pretty adamant that it was time to go. I wasn't going to let Josh have to sit through another day there, and I certainly wasn't going to let him drive back home alone. We took his car there. So we went back to the house. I went in and quickly grabbed all of our stuff while Josh waited outside with my dad. My grandma was really upset that we were leaving, and I felt really bad that this was her first impression of me. I apologized and essentially begged her not to think that this is who me and Josh are. We're good kids. We don't fly off the handle and start crap all the time. It was just a really horrible set of circumstances. I guess at some point while I was packing, someone must have told Ryan what happened, because on my way out, he stopped me and said he was sorry, but obviously he didn't know about Josh's grandpa, or he would have never said that. Which I do believe, because he did look genuinely uncomfortable talking to me about it. He said his grandma said he has to apologize to Josh before we left, and I said I would tell Josh on his behalf, but there's no way Josh wanted to see him right now. I did want to lay into him at that moment about him just being a jerkwad all the time, but I'm not one to kick someone when they're down, and his face did look like he felt like crap already. My dad was really upset about the whole thing, and I told him that I love him and I want to be a part of his family, but if he wants me in his life, he needs to get Ryan under control, because his smart mouth has gotten old very fast. He said he understood and to not worry about it because he was gonna figure it out. I did apologize later because I know I shouldn't have talked to him like that, but I was just mad at the whole thing at that point. Josh and I left, and about halfway through the ride back home, he was back to normal. But when we got back to my house, my mom was pissed off when she found out what happened. Josh is like a second son to her, so she was pretty angry about the whole thing. In hindsight, we should have just went back to Josh's house and stayed there for the day, or just said one of us was feeling sick or something, and that's why we left early. I don't know. Thankfully, I convinced her not to call my dad at the time. She did call him the next day when she had calmed down. My dad called me a short while after and asked if I would be willing to go to a group therapy session with him and Ryan. Honestly, I think it sounds pointless, but if it's a chance to get Ryan and I to at least be courteous to each other, I'll take it. My dad said he has a few therapists in mind, and he's gonna see if one of them can get us an appointment next week. Last thing, I'm definitely more of a logical, factual person over an emotional one, so I try to write without a bias, even though Ryan frustrates the hell out of me. I hope it doesn't come off as me painting him as the devil, because I do see some semblance of a good person in him. When he talks to our dad and our grandparents, he seems like such a normal guy. It's only when it comes to me and Josh at the end of our trip that he gets really mean and belittling. I don't know what his issue is, but I really wish I could meet the guy he is to everyone else. Wow. That was way too much. Especially the part where Ryan unknowingly just said to Josh to go hang out with his own grandpa. Now, I get it, he didn't mean to because he had no idea about Josh's late paternal grandfather, but I would say that on Josh's part, he had a valid crash out, because me personally, if someone were to say that about my own mother who passed away from cancer back in 2024, I would have reacted the same way, and I would have done much worse if no one such as OP was there to hold me back. I get grief makes people act certain ways, and lunging at someone who talks ill about your late relative is one of those valid reactions. But if you don't have anyone to hold you back from hurting someone, then the consequences or the aftermath will definitely be far worse. But I want to know what you guys think about all this. Whether this was valid or invalid, that's totally up to you. But other than that, stay tuned for part 8.